This is Josiah Plays Deep Sky Derelicts. This is just going to be a one-shot video, just taking a look at this game. I'm not planning to do a full playthrough of it, but I wanted to check it out. I played a little bit of it already. Basically, you start off and you make your little team of 3 people. And you can name your team the Slick Fellas. I went with the Star Snake Sisters. Then you can name your people. And then there's various classes to choose from: Tracker, Bruiser, Technician, Medic, Leader, and Scrapper. Each one has a whole different tree of abilities. They get different stats, and they get different slots to use equipment, which also gives you other abilities. So there's pretty large variation in between what the classes can do. Tracker's kind of like a rogue, like a high DPS character. Bruiser's kind of a tank and two-handed fighter. Technician is kind of technician. Medic is a medic. Leader is sort of a I'm not saying anything helpful here, am I? Leader is sort of a leader, and Scrapper is sort of like a scrapper. No, but I mean, like, Anyway, the 3 that I went with for my team were, I went with a leader, a technician, and a scrapper. That's the team that I went with. And then that's, you have your starting stats, weaponry, tech, medical, scavenging, and mental. And you can raise these in the game, and gear will raise them, but this is what they start at for each class. So we got one person that's real good at mental, one person that's real good at tech, one person that's real good at scavenging, 2 people that are pretty decent with weaponry, 1 person that's decent with medical, another character that's also kind of okay at scavenging, so that's a lot of scavenging between the 2 of them. Art style is cool in this. A spoony technician, the spooniest. And then for each class, there's 3 little models. These are the models that you'll see when you're in combat. For each class, there's 3 different ones to choose from. And then you can choose a portrait for each character, and there's a lot of portraits. Male and female. So yeah, as you see, there's quite a few to choose from. I went with this one for my leader, and for my technician I went with this one, and for my scrapper I went with this one. And the final thing you can choose is a personality trait, and each personality trait will give you a different passive bonus. It's kind of like a perk or something. You can be skittish, which gives you extra evasion, which gives them a chance to miss you. You can be aggressive, gives you extra melee damage. You can be charismatic, adds 15 to your mental stat. You can be crafty, gives you a 5% recycle chance, which lets you have a chance of saving a card after you've used it in combat. You can be neurotic, which gives you +2 to initiative, which lets you act faster. And that's it. So she's going to be charismatic, she's going to be crafty, and she's going to be neurotic. And this is how I made my team. Then there's 2 difficulties. The only difference between them is that in normal mode, you can save your game and load your save like in a normal RPG or something. In hardcore mode, it's permadeath. As soon as your character's wiped, that's it. You can't load your save. You have to start the game over from the beginning. So this is how I made my team. Now I'm not going to start actually from the beginning. I'm going to go back and load the save that I already have in progress, but in the beginning, you get a little bit of a storyline where you talk to... This is the base. This is the space station where you always come back to. And in the beginning, you start off here and you go to this station hall, and you talk to this guy, who is the sub-governor. And he gives you your mission, which is to find the location of the fabled mothership so that they can get its technology, and basically, you know, change the lives of everyone. There seems to be a sort of heavy social stratification in this game's world, where there are people that are called citizens that live these great lives and have all the privileges and advantages and everything's great and they live on wonderful worlds. And then there's people that are non-citizens who pretty much just muck around and, you know, live like dregs. And your characters are non-citizens, and what you're offered is, if you find the location of this mothership, he's going to give citizenship to you and your team. So that's kind of your motivation. And you can go through little dialogues. I've kind of gone through all of these dialogues with him already, so he just explains some stuff to you about how to play the game, basically, or what's going on. So that's one place you can go in the station. You can also go to the pawn shop. Here's the pawn shop guy. You can shop with confidence. He will resell your energy cells. You need to spend energy when you're exploring the ships, the derelicts. That's why it's called Deep Sky Derelicts, is because you're exploring these old derelict spaceships, and you're looting them for goods, and you're looking for information, for data on them to help lead you to wherever the location of the mothership might be, the mothership. So, but while you're on these ships, you need to keep spending energy as you move around and as you fight and stuff, because you're having to, you know, spend energy on your life support and that sort of thing. So, your energy starts off at 1,000 out of 1,000. I've actually upgraded mine to 1,200. And when you come back here, you can refresh it. You can pay this guy to refill your energy. Kind of like going to Roscoe's in The Bard's Tale. He can also sell you stuff, you know, different items, and mods for your items. And then he'll sell you these energy cells that you can use while you're on a derelict to refill part of your energy. Although this is less cost effective than having him refill it. So if you just bought a bunch of these and you just always use these to refill your energy, you'd be paying more for energy than if you come back here and let him do it. He'll sell you these power generators that let you sort of make an area powered so that you don't have to spend energy while you're there. And some other little stuff, scavenging kits, extraction beacons. And his inventory of like what items he has for sale changes every time you leave and come back. Every time you leave the station and come back. You can also sell him things. Here's the stuff I have in my inventory. You'll find lots of loot as you're out in the derelicts. You come back, you sell your loot to him. That's your primary source of income. You can go to the medical room. Now, there's no way to heal your health in this game. If you take health damage, the only way to get it back is to come here and pay a bunch of money to get your health restored. Kind of like going to the Temple of Greatest Gods in Bard's Tale. Like, none of the classes or items that I've seen have any actual direct heal abilities of your health. And it's pretty expensive, so the key is to try to avoid taking health damage as much as possible. But this is the medical bay where you'll come back to heal if you need to. So what you try to do is, you try to... Here's my crew. You have shields. See how it says shields? 31 out of 31, 27 out of... Your shields generally take damage before your health, in most cases. So what you want to do is, you want to keep recharging your shields in battle. And that's what the technician specializes in. So that's kind of her role on the team, is to keep everybody's shields charged up, so that hypothetically you're not taking any health damage because enemies are just hitting your shields, and then you keep recharging your shields and you get through the fight without taking any health damage, ideally. Or you keep it to a bare minimum. That way you're not spending all your money on healing your health. But as you see, each character has different slots for different items. Okay, so first of all, you've got your ability tree over here on the left. And these are the abilities that you can put points into for your class. Because she's a leader class, she gets these: Inspire, Expert Speaker, Firestarter, Negotiator, Rehearsed, and all of these. Lead by Example, Distraction, all the way up. She gets all of these abilities that I can choose to put points into as I level. However, once you hit level 4 with a character, you also unlock basically a secondary class, like a specialization, and there's a bunch of them to choose from, and they give you a whole other set of abilities that goes right here. And there's, you know, there's quite a few. There's like 10 or something, different ones to choose from. So each of your characters can then further specialize and learn a new role, basically, which is pretty cool. So you got two kinds of things in these things that you put points into. Some of them just give you a straight up passive bonus as you put more ranks into them, like this, Expert Speaker. Each rank I put into this gave me plus 10 to my mental stat. I put 3 ranks into it, so now my mental is really high. It's up to 106. Plus I've got a little mental stat bonus from like this item and so forth. Other ones, a Negotiator too, gives me buy and sell prices are more favorable and contract rewards are increased. But like this one, Inspire, actually gives you cards. So this is a card-based game. And if you know me, you know I don't like card-based games typically. In fact, when I saw this game on Steam and looked at the screenshots and stuff, I was like, nope, fuck that card-based game. But then I watched Sin playing it, Sinarchy X, and it looked really fun, so I thought I wanted to try it. And it turns out it is really fun. Even though it's card-based, it feels a lot, I don't know, just feels a lot better than other card-based games I've played. So this gives you an actual ability, which puts cards into your deck. And then as you rank it up, you get more of that card, and the card gets better. You know, and this would be another one that gives you actual cards. So you get some cards from your class abilities. Here's another one that gives you an actual card. And this one gives you an actual card. And you get a lot of your cards from your items. So you can choose to equip or unequip anything you want. Like, I don't have to have all these items. If I want to thin my deck out, I can take some of this stuff off at any time. So, for example, each class has specific slots of what they can equip. A leader can equip a ranged weapon, an energy blade, a tool, and a shield core. A technician can equip a ranged weapon, 2 tools, and a shield core. A scrapper can equip a ranged weapon, a power glove, power glove, a tool, and a shield core. You can only equip the right kind of item in the right kind of slot, so a leader can never have 2 different tools equipped. But there's lots of different kinds of tools. Like, this is a tool that's a mental tool, which means it gives you mental bonus to your mental stats, and it gives you cards that are mental cards. And the fact that they're mental cards matters because that's what's affected by your mental stat. And, you know, scavenging cards are affected by your scavenging stat, medical cards by your medical stat, tech cards by your tech stat, and weaponry cards by your weaponry stat. So this gives her a couple of cards, and then you can put up to 2 mods on each item. And you can equip and unequip these mods at any time. You can just take them in and out, so it's no big deal. You're not locked into anything. So, she's got a couple more mods here, and as you see, each of these gives her a passive effect, which is a critical failure chance for enemies attacking her, and they each give her another card to use. As you can see, she has a lot of cards down here. This is all the cards that are in her deck. Inspire, Self-Recharge, Trash Talk, Draw Fire, Complement, Deflective Stance, Piercing Strike, Single Strike, Single Strike, Single Strike, Explosive Grenade, EMP Grenade, EMP Grenade, Concussive Grenade, Concussive Grenade, Snapshot, single shot, single shot, and single shot. And inspiring shot. Most of these cards come from her gear. You know, she's getting 1, 2, 3, 4 cards just from this tool and its mods. She's getting 1 card from her shield core. Your shield core is really important because it determines how many shields you have. So she used to have this shield core, which gave her 2 self-recharge cards. A self-recharge lets you restore some of your own shields. But I replaced it with this shield core, which gives her 31 shields instead of 24. So that's 7 more points of shields, but she only gets 1 card to recharge herself instead of 2. But that's okay, because generally my technician keeps everybody recharged. So I figured it was better for her to have. But I'm not 100% sure on that decision. That's why I'm still carrying this other one around, in case I want to switch it back in. There's various types of ranged weapons. There's light ranged weapons, which are like pistols. There's precision ranged weapons, which are like sniper rifles. There's spread ranged weapons, which are like shotguns. There's assault ranged weapons, which are like assault rifles. And the difference between them is the kind of stats they have and the kind of cards they give you. So this card gives her, this weapon gives her everything that you see there. And then with mods, she's got a thing on there with a secondary barrel, so she shoots 23% extra damage, a secondary projectile on every shot. Then she's got the grenade extension on her weapon, which gives her all those grenade cards. And let's say I wanted to thin my deck out and wanted to be able to use my mental things more often, I could just take that off and completely get rid of those grenades. You know, I could say, wait, maybe I don't want trash tack. Maybe I don't want draw fire. See, and I can thin my deck out as much as I want. Like, I mean, I could thin my deck out a whole lot if I took off a lot of things. And if I did this, that means I would get to use these abilities a lot more often. Whereas by putting more of these items on, I give myself a lot more things I can do, but I'm less likely to have any given ability up at any given time. So it's kind of a trade-off. You've got to decide how you want to set up your deck. She also gets an energy blade, which gives her some cards, and some mods on there that give her some more stuff she can do. So that's kind of how it works for all of the characters. That's what the leader gets. You know, they get stuff to sort of buff their allies, to get more money for the team. Things like that. While also being decent at fighting, at weapon damage. And having decent health. I think she has the most health in my party, yeah. So then the technician, like I said, is pretty much all about refreshing our shields. You get shield boost, which gives you a huge chunk of extra shields. Then tech, and the tech stat gives you a bonus to shields restored. So you stack this stuff up and she's giving out a lot of shields. But she can get various things. And I think there's good replay value in this because, well, not only are all of the layouts of the ships, all the layouts of the derelicts and what's on them are all procedurally generated and random, so it's going to be different every time you play. But also, there's so many different classes to choose from, and different specs and different specializations for them, and different ways you could build them, that you could have very different team compositions. So she's got, you know, look how many shield boosting and recharging things she has. There's some more recharge shields over here. Now, right now, I'm experimenting. She's got a sniper rifle, and she's got a couple mods on it. I'm experimenting with this combat tool. What she used to have was simply another tech tool with more recharged shields on it. And I might put that back on her. But right now she's got this combat enhancer tool, which gives her some extra abilities that help her be more offensive. But as you see, that adds a bunch of extra cards to her deck. If I wanted to keep her way more focused on just shields and thin her deck back out with less extemporaneous cards, I would take this tool off and put this many tool back on, and she would lose all of these cards and get 2 more recharged shield cards, so she'd basically always be able to do recharged shields. But for right now, it seems to be working out with how I have it set up. And then see, she's got a mod on there that makes her shield restoring abilities more effective. So, you know, between switching out these mods and different tools and different stuff, you change your deck, you change your passive stats, and it really changes the way your character plays. And then finally there's the Scrapper, who's kind of a strange class that's hard to define. She's got Dirty Punch as kind of her core ability, which I've maxed out. It's pretty nice. It's a big, high-hitting melee attack, and it also makes them have a 50% miss chance for 2 turns, which is pretty huge. Good for crowd control. Got suit modifications, Eye for Loot. I'm going to be putting points into Eye for Loot, because I like finding more loot. Money's really important in this game. One of the ways you can fail this game, and by fail I mean completely fail and have to start over from the beginning, is running out of money. If you run out of money, you're pretty much fucked. Because your characters will get hurt, and then you won't have any way to heal them. And it could be a real problem, or you might not be able to recharge your energy or whatever. So, I've kind of built my party around the idea of getting more money. With her having 106 mental, we get 106% more credits from contracts and tasks. Plus she gets Negotiator, so she's getting even more buy-sell prices and contract reward bonuses. And these two with high scavenging, see, that gives you more loot. And that gives her even more loot. And then she's going to have this thing to give you even more loot. So, because I watched that happen to Sin. He completely ran out of money. And he was just done. He couldn't do anything. His characters were all almost dead. He had no way to heal them. And he had... because you can't grind for extra money. Once you've cleared the encounters and things to find out of a derelict, that's it. It's cleared. Nothing respawns or refreshes. So there's a finite amount of stuff out there for you. So I thought having more money and more loot would actually be really good. But the Scrapper also has a lot of weird sort of abilities that involve, like, giving extra cards to other people, giving extra cards to themselves, letting people draw extra cards, discard extra cards, and a lot of sort of crowd control type of stuff and things to get extra... I mean, they're sort of an all-around utility class that doesn't really fit neatly into any other categorization. But I think they're pretty cool. I really like my team composition. The 3 that I picked seem to work together really well. As you see, she has a really fat deck. She has a fuckload of cards. Because she's getting a lot from her various items. But she gets a ranged weapon. She's got it like an assault rifle, basically. Has burst fire on it. And then she's got, you know, some couple concussive grenades modded onto there. And this special magazine that gives her 9% recycle chance. Recycle chance is really good. Because what that does is basically every time she plays a card, she has a 9% chance to immediately get that card back into her hand, which is pretty cool. She's also got a Power Glove, which is like a Power Fist in Fallout, and a lot of her attacks are big, heavy melee attacks with the Power Glove, which also do like crowd control type of things, like they can lower the target's initiative, they can stun the target, They can put bleeds on the target. You know, so she's got some good stuff going on here. She's got a scavenging tool. Now, this is pretty neat. So these are cards that do like utility things, like this craft supply card. She plays this, and it lets her draw 4 cards from her deck and pick one. And then it energizes her one. Energize means you get to play an extra card on your turn. So what that means is she can use this card and still do something else on her turn. So basically it's just get more, which allows her to draw more deeply from her fat deck with these craft supply cards. And here's another craft supply, so she got 3 of those. And she's also got a couple of reloads up here, which lets her draw 2 weaponry cards from her deck. So she has a lot of ways to get extra cards. She can deploy a health cover in front of herself. Maintain is really nice. Maintain is a buff for the whole party. It gives the whole party 40% recycle for 3 turns. So that means the whole party is going to be getting to keep their cards a lot more of the time. And if they do recycle a card, they get a 20% damage boost. So that's a sweet buff. And then she's got, you know, her shield core and a mod on her shield core that actually gives her slightly less shields, but gives her more damage. So anyway, that's how they're kind of set up right now. That's the team I've got. There's, you know, like 3 more classes I could have picked, right? There's Tracker, Bruiser, Medic. I think that's the only other ones. What are you doing embroidering in the middle of battle? Crafting up another ability. Yes. So, you've got lots of inventory space in this, which I like. I don't know how to get this. You get lots of inventory space. I've never even come close to running out of inventory space. Because you get 4 whole pages. And you can also upgrade that as well. We'll get to the upgrade place in just a second. Anyway, that's how my characters are set up. That's how it basically works in terms of setting up your characters. As we go along, we'll find different tools, we'll find different weapons, we'll find different mods, and we'll change stuff out. You know, we'll just change stuff out whenever we want. Then you got missions. So, like, sort of the main missions are these location data missions. Each of these derelicts, the Maskeen, the Banshee, the Amonseth, the Cure, those are names of different derelict ships that are out there that we've discovered, that we can go explore. And we're looking for data aboard each one, and that's sort of like the main quest of the game. And then you can pick up these contracts to do other stuff, which just give you money. You know, this one wants us to find Hensel Jolas somewhere on some derelict, or well, on this particular derelict apparently. This one wants us to get intestines from wormlings, wherever we can find wormlings. This one wants us to find someone named Salome, you know, and when we complete these we get nice big fat money bonuses, so that's pretty good. And scanner you only use when you're on a derelict. So, the station hall, the pawn shop, the medical, the PDA. Then you can go here to the lair, the mercenary hub. So you've got 2 things you can do here. You can get contracts like the ones I just showed you. Right now there's no additional contracts available. I think every time you complete one of the main missions, more new side mission contracts become available. You can also hire mercs. Now, the max party size is 3. I've only got 3 people. I can't add any more people right now. But let's say one of these characters dies, or I just want to replace them. I can come in here and I can hire some of these mercenaries. You know, they're already level 3. And different mercenaries are available when you leave and come back. And you can inspect them and you can see what they have, you know. And they've got all their own stuff. So I might decide that I need a different kind of person in my party. And I might want to come and grab one of these mercenaries. And there's always new ones available. I don't think it is made by the same people from Darkest Dungeon. I just think they're heavily inspired by Darkest Dungeon. So that's what you can do here. And then the final place is the research workshop, where you can buy permanent upgrades to various things by spending a lot of money. So when you're exploring the derelicts, you have to use this scanner to go around and like move from one place to another on the derelict and see what's around and stuff. And so there's various ways that you can improve that scanner. And you just pay, you know, X amount. Like I've already bought level 1 of this, that's why it says active. And I've bought level 1 of this, and I've bought level 1 of this. And they get increasingly expensive. You can also upgrade how much energy you have. I've bought the first level of that. It gets more expensive to get more energy. I've bought the first level of energy cost reduction, but then it gets more expensive. Extra energy from consumables. I actually really want that, but I don't know if I want to spend that much of my money right now. Darkest Slaughterhouse. That's going to be the next thing that I research, though. And then you can even improve your inventory size, which seems amazing considering how much inventory size you already have. So, that's it. And then you can actually leave. One second. Okay, let's see. Hopefully I can keep the game working. Here we go. So this shows you the places you can fly to. Right now, I only have a few derelicts discovered. Originally, when I started off, there were only 2. Queen and Banshee. And I went to Queen first. It was the level 1 derelict, and I completely cleared it. Everything is cleared on Queen. So then I went to Banshee. Level 2 derelict, and I'm in the process of clearing that. And now we've discovered 3 more. Maskeen, Amonseth, and Cure. And it shows you what level they are. This one's level 2, these 2 are level 3, so I'm sticking with the... I'm gonna do them in the, you know, order of the lowest level to the highest, obviously. You can choose to have your energy refilled as part of your flight, but it doesn't cost anything to actually travel. It only costs something if you have refill energy checked. My energy's already full. So we're going back to the Banshee. What's up, Saito? How you doing? Loading screens are short in this. Of course, I say that and now it's taking forever. And so while on a ship... Oh yeah, I have to select a landing zone because this was the original landing zone. I discovered this other one. So I gotta decide which one to go back and land at. So here we are, we're on the ship, right? Here's my 3 people. Now, we don't move around in this view. We really only go to this view when we're searching a room or when we're fighting. From here, there's also a nice little codex in here that explains all of the rules, rules, terms, and stats and everything. There's no quote-unquote lore codex, but there's, you know, this tells you how everything in the game works. So while we're in here, we can do all the normal stuff in our PDA. We can level people up, we can change out their gear, we can look at our missions, and then we go to the scanner. So the scanner is kind of how you move around on the ship and discover stuff. This is where we started. And we moved and we just explored all this, and now we're over here. Each square that you move through costs you energy points. See how we have 1200 energy? So like, right now, I've energized this area using a portable generator thingy. So all of these squares cost me 0 energy to move through. But to move there would cost me 12 energy points. You know, and with each additional square, the cost goes up and up and up. Also, you use up energy points while you're fighting, too. If you run out of energy, your characters start dying. And they will very quickly die if you don't actually escape from the derelict before you. But like I said, I do have some of these energy cells that I can use. They're consumable items to give myself a boost of energy if I need to. And I also have some of these power generators that I can throw down, and it makes the area powered within 3 tiles. So I threw one down right here, and that's why all of these have that little symbol, and when I mouse over them it says 0 EP. That means it'll cost me 0 energy to move through these squares because they're permanently powered by a power generator that I used. It's going alright. It's good to hear, Saito. How are you guys doing? I'm doing pretty well. Just taking a brief look at this game. Just gonna play this for a little bit and then switch. Anyway, so we've explored all this part over here. We have to explore up this way now. So you move through the squares. Now I'm not gonna run into any random encounters. There are encounters on the map. There are groups of enemies, and sometimes they move around, but it's not like every square you move through there's a random encounter chance. There are set encounters on the map. And like I said, where they are changes and they can move around, but they're a specific actual group of enemies that's moving around on the map, not just like enter a square, roll to see if there's a random encounter there kind of thing. In the future, walking will apparently be a much more complicated process. Well, it's because you're spending time and you're using up energy on all your life support systems. Because this is a hostile environment. So we come up to here. Now the other thing I can do is scan. Now, right now, it doesn't cost me any energy to scan because I'm standing on a powered space. And when you do that, it kind of shows you what's in all these squares. Right now there's nothing in any of them. So I know that I'm not going to run into any enemies in any of these, and there's not going to be anything to search or find or do anything with. Now I'm going to start spending energy to move around more. Oh, we found some enemies. The necrotics ahead scream hollowly before they start to move towards you. So here we see the initiative order, right? This is our characters that get to go first. Yay, because these things are slow. They don't move until initiative 5. I can click on them. It'll tell me some stuff about the enemy. But I don't know what cards they use. So that's why those are question marks. I just know those are definitely attacks. Shows me a little bit of information about them. So we're going to come right out. Now I can attempt to stun both of them with a concussive grenade. It's only a 50% chance. Or I can definitely stun one of them and do some damage. So I'm going to defo stun this guy. Gonna boost her shields. And she's got 38 shields. Space zombies. They can't just be space zombies, no, they need to be necrotics. TM. Yeah, specifically they're called gutsers, and you'll find out why they're called gutsers soon. You notice their stomach looks a little bit fucking questionable, right? Concussive grenade, piercing strike, single shot, single... Well, let's just pour the damage on this guy. That one's stunned, he doesn't get to act. That one did a plague punch. Now you see all of that 14 damage just came off of my shield, so my health is still unharmed. And on the technician's turn, she'll recharge those shields. It is a little bit like Card Hunter, but it's also really different. It's hard for me to describe why it feels so different from Card Hunter in terms of the card mechanics themselves, but it really does. So I could finish this guy off, so I will. Then she'll recharge my shield, bringing it back up to 31. Now she could buff everybody. Every ally could draw a card and have an 11% chance to energize, which means they get to take 2 actions on their turn. Darkest Card Hunter. They haven't done their special belly attack yet, which is good because it's gross. I'm just gonna shoot this guy though. Oh, there he goes. Gutsplosion. So now we all have fucking plague on us, which will hurt us over time and make us take extra damage from other plague attacks. Combat has a Slay the Spire / Darkest Dungeon. Oh yeah, very Darkest Dungeon feel. Unbelievable. Oh, Nox. Alright, let's just... Oh, we can't finish him off. It's like, this attack does good damage, but it only does damage to shields. I think it only does damage to shields. It says it does damage to shields, and it's got a blue thing around there instead of a red thing. So I don't think that would do us any good, because this monster doesn't have any shields. I think we can just kill him with damage before he'll get another turn. Ooh, nice crit. Of course, she doesn't have any offensive cards right now. So, she'll just fortify everybody's shields. Gives us a bonus to armor and stuff. There we go. She can finish him off. Victory. The Star Snake Sisters are victorious. So, when you finish a combat, any lingering effects that may be on you go away, any damage over time immediately goes away, and your shields automatically reset to full. So, we didn't take a single point of health damage there. That's what you want to do every time, ideally. I mean, a lot of fights are a lot harder than that. That was an easy fight, but if you can avoid taking any health damage, then you can just keep regenerating your shields endlessly, and you don't have to go back to town and spend all your money healing yourself. So that's kind of key. And this is the junk that they drop. This is all just vendor trash. Alright, we're going to move forward a little bit more. And we're going to do a scan. So, see how these have a line across them? That means there's something to find there. Now we can search this room. Now, I can save scum this, technically, because it generates the loot randomly when I hit search, so I can reload and search again until I get something good, but I'm not going to. What did we get? We got a junk component and a weapon. So I always like to take a look at these weapons and see what we came up with. It's a spread weapon, so it's a shotgun. Which I don't like. Nobody's going to use this in my team, but we'll probably be able to sell it for a decent amount. Ooh, a shield core mod. That has some strange mods on it. It gives you minus 5% max shields and plus 5% max shields. Thanks. And 7% extra damage, and it gives you a cloaking, lets you turn invisible, and it gives you a reload. Now, do I want to put this on anybody on my team? I kind of want to put it on her. She could use a little extra damage, and that cloaking would be great, since she's basically, quote-unquote, the healer. She's not really a healer, per se. She's just regenerating people's shields, but it's fun comes out to the same thing. She could turn invisible, not take hits while she's regenerating shields and stuff. That would actually be pretty cool. Also, reload would be a good card for her, because she only has a few attack cards, and she very often doesn't have one in her hand. So this would let her get some attack cards on demand. We could also give it... And she also has the thinnest deck. These two also have very fat decks already, so adding even more cards to them is not necessarily what I want to do. So yeah, I am going to put this on her second shield core slot. Saito, it does seem to be taking place in a pretty dystopian, dark, grim future. I don't know if it's as bad as Warhammer 40k, but... basically, there's citizens and non-citizens, and most people are non-citizens, and they just have to muck about in space, being fucking poor and miserable. And citizens get to live on these sweet planets and have lives of luxury, and everything is great for them. And that's kind of what you're trying to do in this game, is become a citizen. By finding the location of this mothership with all this incredible technology. It's been promised by the sub-governor that if you find this thing, he'll make you and your team citizens, and you'll be living easy after that. So we're out searching these derelict spaceships for data that can lead us to the mothership. Space Athos. Spathos. Those fucking non-citizens. Alright. So, we'll just keep moving. We're almost done with this derelict, because, you know, there's not very much left here that I could explore. Fortunately, there's no quick save key. You have to actually... Okay, that's an enemy right there. Or it's an encounter. Sometimes an encounter isn't an enemy, but usually it is. Oh. Well, we got a small energy cell. And a couple other things. What did we get? A power glove mod. Well, our scrapper uses a power glove. It gives 4 evasion, which is a 4% miss chance for enemies. It gives bash, which... it's kind of hard to read these cards when you're looking at them small like that. I'm going to take this off for a second and put this on just so I can look at these cards. Well, bash... oh yeah, we already have a bash. At least one bash. Yeah, we have one bash. So now this will give us another bash card where that lowers their initiative. That can be kind of useful sometimes to make it so that they go after your buddies. That can be pretty nice. And then it gives parry. Block the next 3 melee attacks. Blocked attackers get minus 15% damage reduction, and their evasion is removed. Wow, parry's pretty cool. But to use this, I'd have to give up one of the 2 that I already have. I really like Ripping Strike with the wounded spikies, and I really like... oh, I'm not going to give up my Stunning Blows either. So, as cool as this is, it's going to get sold, because I like the ones I have already. Then we've got a Scavenging Tool mod. She also has a Scavenging Tool, so she could replace one of these with this. Gives 4 to Scavenging, stat. Gives 3% extra damage, base. It gives you a Razor Net sucks. I don't like Razor Net. I really like the things she's already got here, so yeah, we're not going to use either of those. But we can sell them. Sellable loot is good, because money's extremely important in this. So we can come and we can search this one. Oh, a data pad. A petrified alien limb. I think those are pretty valuable. There's a journal entry on the data pad from a user, Shelly. I'm running, and the walls of the corridor are caving in. I'm running, and the walls are made of leaves and branches. I know this is a labyrinth. There is grass, or at least I assume it's grass under my feet. Red and yellow tulips reaching up from the ground. Sky is clear. It's dusk. A star very near this planet is glowing behind vapor constellations, clouds, mist, something like that. Hard to tell. I've never been on this planet. I find my way out of the maze and arrive in front of an old house. The huge synthetic trunks, once proud and tall, are now static corpses laying still. I go through the door. Inside, the rooms are small, dark, and smell like oil. On the left, there is a stone oven. It yawns like a mouth, and I crawl inside. I hear a stream of water hissing somewhere below me. I feel anxious. The water is rising, but I can't move. When the water finally touches my toes, I realize I'm suffocating. I wake up. Awake, I try to remember what it's like to wake up in my own bed. Get up and stretch, reach from one side to another, fingers touching the floor in my clean, brightly lit room. I could actually sleep back in those days. How odd to try to recall the experience of losing consciousness, to fall asleep. I miss how it felt so safe then, before it all fell apart, before the triumvirate started to fill the power vacuum in our society with its hegemonial ruthlessness. Today, the societies of the mirror worlds are only about puppets and puppeteers. And suddenly I feel the cold water starting to rise again. So we found several of these data pads in different places with different weird little stories and stuff in them that kind of give you an idea of what, you know, the world is like. You can also sell them for a decent amount of money. Alright, we're gonna have an encounter here. Possibly a fight. Possibly not. Espinock. Hello, I am Espinock, executive number 555313. Enter your proposition here. Great, another crazy person. But you're not a robot. Oh, why did you have to spoil it? Everybody wants to deny me my right to be a robot. The only thing I wish is to become a machine. I'm so tired of these affects. Fucking triumvirates, always overthrowing republics. Yeah, dude, triumvirates are always bad. The grass is for my head, Jiminy. Knox. The feelings are there for a reason. What makes us more than just logical constructs. Nothing good in my life has ever come of affects. They are pointless, but obviously you don't understand, just like everybody else. Can I help you with your problem? You would be the first one to do so. I've been trying to find a proper machine in this derelict, but they're too cryptic, irritating, or too emotional. I want you to find me a luminous, charismatic machine with mild affects. I've uploaded my image file to this memory unit. If you happen to find me a suitable machine, please give my image to that appropriate entity. I'll let you know if I come across such a thing. Great! Positively charged that you have accepted my proposition. Crazy dude who wants to be a robot. We found another quest giver in this derelict as well. Down here. The janitor captain, who wants us to pick up trash on the derelict and bring it to him. We've actually found several pieces of trash and taken them to him, and he gives us energy for them. Oh, shit. Sanctity of the ship must be preserved. Remove the biological infestation. This will be a lot harder fight than the last one I had. These guys can be kind of dangerous. Alright. See, right out the gate, I can get myself an extra card and still take my action. So, let's say I want... Like, I don't love any of these, so I could get another craft supply and immediately play it. And I could take a look at these. A self-recharge might not be bad. I love dirty punch. Ooh, a concussive grenade, though. Let's grab a concussive grenade. I stunned one of them. I staggered the others. When you get staggered, you lose cards. Because the enemies are playing off of cards as well. They have some nubbly little legs. Now she's got a lethal shot, and she doesn't have an amp for it. Usually she ends up getting an amp without a fucking shot. But let's shield boost somebody. Or maybe... Oh, fortify shields. Immune to puncture for 3 turns, which is great, because I think these guys have puncturing attacks. Puncture lets you do damage directly to health, which is no good. So she's going to fortify the team's shields. Overload. I'll use this EMP grenade. Take all their shields down, I could use some chunk. And the other one was stunned. I could do a little damage to all enemies and give them all a miss chance. I could do a bunch of damage to one enemy and give them a bigger miss chance. Or I could stun somebody. Look, I'm really into stuns, you guys. Now she's got an amp. That'll give her 50% extra damage on an attack, and then she could use that with her lethal shot and hit pretty hard. So I'm going to use it. Then I'm going to lethal shot this guy. Well, that'll outright kill him. That'd be kind of a waste of the stun. If I kill this guy, we can get this guy to almost dead. Actually, we killed him. I forgot. I added that mod onto her gun that makes a secondary projectile, kind of like the one that Siren has. So that did enough extra damage to kill it. I'll just throw a grenade. That one's stunned. Okay, I thought this fight was going to be harder. The last time I fought some of these janitor robots, they actually hurt me. This time, though, not so much. The reason he didn't do anything is because we staggered him so much that he didn't have any cards. I guess. I think that's why. Just to be safe. Nah, we still got lots of shields. I don't need to shield boost. Let's draw some weaponry cards. Alright, let's finish one of these guys off. And let's finish this guy off. Alright, we didn't take any damage. Yay. Janitor parts. We have a... Oh, we used to have a mission to collect some of these janitor parts, but I think we already completed it, actually. This is a mod for the sniper rifle, which my technician has. Extra damage and an overcharged shot. No, I don't think so. We're not going to use it. Alright. Energy Surge. If you fight on these Energy Surge tiles, you get some special benefits in combat. Petrified Alien Head. A valuable artifact or a nice doorstop? Okay. See, if you fight on an Energy Surge, you get +1 card and 25% chance to energize every turn. Weapon Tool mod. Our Technician has a weapon tool. She could put that on instead of... It gives her an EMP and a pulse grenade. Instead of, like, the cryo amp and the acid amp. She has 4 amps here. It's a lot of amps for the small amount of actual attack she has. This gives 2 evasion as well. Yeah, I think we'll go with that for now. So that's probably the final encounter of this place. Yeah, because that's it. There's no more places to go after this. So, don't know if there'll be a fight there or just like a thing we talk to. We're about to find out. This is my altar. Set your feet carefully on this sacred floor. I am a lone god. I want someone to be my image. Bring me a disciple, and I will give you what you search. Why do you need disciples? Aren't gods supposed to be omnipotent? I don't need a disciple. I want one. There is a difference. Well, as it happens, I encountered this fellow whose desire is to become a machine. Call me intrigued. Can you provide me with the image of this faithful? He said he stored this image file on his memory unit. See, we got lucky because the placement of the guy and the placement of this are randomized, so we might have found this before we found that other guy, and then we would have had to search all over to find that other guy. Or he might have been really far away, you know. We got lucky that we just found him and he wasn't that far away. Excellent. Analyzing. Surmu fell silent for a short while. This person is a worthy disciple. Tell him to come to me. So, see, now we've got... Go back and talk to Espinok. Who was right over here. It's nice that we didn't meet him, like, here, where we'd had to spend, like, 445 energy to get back to him. Have you found a luminous, brilliant machine? I gave your image file to this console. It wants you to be its disciple. Oh, I've never been so excited. Okay, calm down, Espinok. No affects, no emotions. Deep breath. Thank you for your assistance. I must go meet my destiny. And then I probably have to go back here. Yeah, to actually get the data that I'm looking for. Welcome. You are now facing a luminous synthetic with saturated presence. What happened to Espinok? Did he arrive? We are intertwined now. His presence glows inside me. What did you do to him? I gave him what he wanted, a life as a machine. In return, he only needed to serve within me. I am a generous deity, filled with compassion. Right. Say no more. Can I have the location data now? But of course, you turned me from a vanishing deity into something significantly different. Who knows what kind of fucking consequences. We just created the AI that's going to wipe out the universe. Thanks. I'll be off. Feel free to come and worship me anytime. So we are done here. We have completed this derelict. Now it's just a matter of getting out of here. So it's going to cost us 222 energy to get back to the escape route, which is great. We have enough, so we're not going to have to use an energy cell. Pretty successful. So we didn't take any health damage, and we didn't use any energy cells. So this was a perfectly successful run. Where we have basically, we lost no money. Well, we're going to have to pay to refresh our energy, but that's really cheap if you pay for it back at the pawn shop. Do Daleks have organic parts? Yeah, their inner part is Dalek. Really? I didn't know that. I don't know anything about that. See, it's only going to cost 112 to completely refill all the way back up to 1200 energy. Sell all junk. I kind of like seeing what stuff is actually worth, though. Like, I'm going to sell this mod for 50. I'm going to sell this alien head for 96. So these janitor parts for 20, a broken cell for 4, energy condenser for 67, an astrosphere, we're not going to sell that. 62 for the alien limb, we can get 60 for that data pad. Materials for recycling. 62 for that, 61 for that. We're going to keep that. 12. 140 for that shotgun, that's nice. And then I think that's all we're selling for now. So we're up to 1500. You know, I could look into, oh, what's he got for sale? Maybe there's something here I want. But I don't really want to spend my money on gear right now. Even though some of this stuff looks pretty nice. Definitely some upgrades here, but we're not going to buy any gear right now. So now we go back to the sub-governor. Hello, scavenger. How goes your search? Got intact data out of Banshee Derelict. Sublime. One step closer to discovering the mothership. Keep up the good work and we'll get there sooner than you'll realize. Was there anything else? Any news regarding the data? Researchers have managed to uncover the location of a new group of derelicts from the data you've brought. These are bigger and more dangerous, but I trust you can handle yourself. I'm granting you a broader working permit for you, effective immediately. Is there anything else? Time for me to go. Very good. Remember to come back and share any progress you've made. So now, see, there's 2 more that I could travel to. Giant Sleeper, level 4. Tursetti, level 5. If I went there, I would get completely destroyed. Because each level up increases the difficulty pretty significant. Part of the reason Banshee was easy for me is because it's level 2. And I'm already level 3. As soon as I go to a level 3 derelict, it's going to be a lot harder. I watched that on Sin's stream, where he went from level 2 to level 3, and all of a sudden he was getting his ass kicked. But no, we're not going anywhere yet, because we can get some new contracts. 5 Drudger Stingers needed. As the latest clothing trends have been exclusively about rivets and synthetic leather, our company has decided to invest heavily in them, but with a twist. Drudger stingers needed for mass production of intense decorations. Look how much money that pays. But who knows when I'll find drudgers. Paying a good sum for 8 handfuls of morph particles to get rid of the disgusting smell from our neighbor's flat. Desperate times require desperate measures. That pays even more. We're not going to hire any of these mercs because, unfortunately, we can only have 3 people on our team. And I like the 3 people I have. Intense decorations. I don't think I'm going to research anything, even though I've got enough money that I could research something like scanner increase or scan details. I've even got enough to increase my energy reserve again. Oh, I did want to get this energy from consumables one, though. That would only take half my money. Scanner range would be pretty fucking nice, too. I'm gonna take this because it only costs $7.50. And I'll save the rest of my money. You've got to save some money, because if you come back from a mission all beat up and you can't afford to get your guys healed at the medical bay, you are fucked. Like, start the game over from the beginning level of fucked. That's what happened to Sin. Energy cost reduction seems like something that would pay for itself. Yeah. It would pay for itself. Once I have a little more money, I'll get that. But see, like, this will pay for itself too, this thing that I just got, because now when I use one of those energy cells, instead of healing myself 300 energy, I'll get 450 energy. So that's like an extra, for every one of these that costs me 20, no, that's selling. For every one of these that costs me 84 credits, I'm now getting 50% more energy out of it. So that's a pretty big, yeah, Obamacare did not survive into the Deep Sky. It's so expensive to heal your guys. It's so expensive. And there's no other way to get health back. That's why it's crucial to have somebody in your party that can restore shields a lot. That's why I have the technician. And the technician is spec'd as much as possible into shield restoring. Alright, we're done here. We can go back and we can now go to a new derelict. So we've cleared Banshee, we've cleared Queen. We haven't been to Maskeen yet, and that is the only other level 2 derelict. Nor did Space Canadian Healthcare. Space Canada! So we're going to Maskeen. Okay, here we are. Return back here and contact me when you're ready to go back out to the base. Be safe out there, guys. Oh yeah, we're gonna be so safe. Okay, so... see, this one's bigger. Oh, looks like we're gonna have an encounter right out the gate. James. Picking up a customer in a place like this, I'll tell you it's a joke. A really, really bad joke. What customer? I was ordered to pick up Hansel Jolas, a pure tone collector, but I haven't found her, no matter where I've searched. Jolas' spouse, who assigned me to pick her up, assumes something's happened to Jolas and is concerned to death, but I can't find her and it's driving me crazy. Are you absolutely sure she's here on this derelict? Look, I've been selected the best customer detector at Taxi Tannhauser ever since the transplanetary customs were set. So yeah, I'm pretty sure she's here. I've run my energy reserves too close to zero scouting for this potential customer of mine, and I have to start heading back to my ship soon. If you find her, go ahead and tell her that I'm waiting. I'll keep my eyes open for her. The best customer detector. That's a very strange thing to be. Alright, see, that relates to our mission. We have a mission here. To find Hensel Jolas. And we'll get paid 1,265 credits if we find her. So we're gonna find her. So we got an encounter down here and a loot over here. Let's go for the encounter first. Prosloth. Acting like a mysterious machine. Beep, boop, beep, beep. Expecting a fantastic circuit. Do you possess one? What are you talking about? Are you the awaited delegate? The what? Are you a representative of one with access? Not the magician's apprentice. I don't even... Organic monotone. Go figure yourself out. Beep boop. Mysterious behavior. Beep boop. Is the fantastic surrogate ready to play? Yes. Verifying data through V2 analysis. Beep boop beep beep. Access denied. Faulty surrogate. Become fantastic surrogate and try again. Alright. Don't know what that means, but I guess we'll figure it out. Energy blade. Ranged weapon mod. Ooh, hold on. Okay, so my energy blade, right now I've got blade lock, gives me a deflective stance and some evasion. And I've got a wavelength and it gives me 2% damage and a piercing strike. This will just give me 3% damage and nothing else. So I'm not going to use that. But this ranged weapon mod, just like Darkest Dungeon in Space, kind of Floridon, but different. I mean, yeah, it's very similar to the Darkest Dungeon in a lot of ways, but it also plays very differently. Secondary... See, I've already got a secondary projectile thing, but this also adds plus 34% fire, which sounds really good. Maybe I should put that on Saint's weapon. I guess I'll just replace this barrel with that barrel. Don't really want to give up any of my things that I have. I could thin my deck out a lot by getting rid of all these grenades. And I could give them to, like... Oh, no, but then Shatter's deck. Her deck is already fucking super fat, so... Let's just... I hate to get rid of this, though, because it's really cool. But this one's better. And I don't want to get rid of all those grenades. The 1% upgrade right there. And I don't want to get rid of those, and I don't want to get rid of these. It is deep, Floridon. I mean, you actually make characters in the beginning of this. Unlike in Darkest Dungeon. There's like multiple classes to choose from. You put together your team, you make the characters, you decide what they're gonna have and stuff. And then you customize the characters significantly through not only gear, each piece of gear and each mod for each piece of gear. You know, there's a whole bunch of items that you can equip that really change how you play. Plus, you also have your class abilities that you put points into as you level up. And then you can also unlock a specialization for each character, which is like a secondary class, and there's a bunch of those. And each character gets a secondary class full of a whole bunch of other new abilities. And you've got, you know, you got stats, and your stats are based on your class, and they're based on your gear. And then you've got your actual deck of abilities, which is based on your class and your gear. So the amount of character creation / customization / development is significantly more in this than Darkest Dungeon. But the combat is a little bit less tactical, I guess, because there's no positioning. Instead of having characters in certain positions that can only attack in certain positions, everybody's just kind of lined up on each side of the battle, and anybody can do anything from any position. I'm tempted to throw down a power generator right here. Ah, we're about to hit a dead end. I wonder why it didn't power generate these two. Well, now moving through all these cost 0 energy, and it's not going to cost us any energy if we have to do a fight here. This isn't a fight, it's Jola's. As you try to get her attention, she raises her hand, signaling you to stop talking. After a short while, she opens up a communication channel. There, I'm done. Finally managed to capture the last cluster on my sheet. Hi, I'm Jolas. What can I do for you? Sorry for being so rude, I was in the middle of something delicate. What were you working on? I was collecting the electromagnetic vibrations emerging from that black hole. These derelicts are orbiting. This is the first time I've managed to record them this close to the source of origin. And the material is exceptionally vivid and precise. Yet there's something missing. This is a bit silly, but could I ask you to do me a favor? What would you need me to do? I need you to help me in a test. This ship has a peculiar feature. It holds a magnificent sonic library, but it doesn't let me sign in. It wants me to find a representative that could access the console. Could you do that? Sure, why not? Great! I'm keeping my contact here open, so you'll be granted access to the console's contents. I want to download its tone bank, so try to keep it calm and answer its questions. I'm counting on you. I'll get it done. Quests within quests. See, these are locked, and I've never seen that before on a map, so I don't know what it means. I mean, apparently it means I can't go there, but I must have to get the access from this thing to go to these. Alright, well this was kind of a waste of a place to do a power generator, honestly. But, oh well. The power generators aren't that expensive. That scan was free because I'm standing on a powered space. Here we found, oh, all kinds of goodies. A mod for my mental tool, a slippery conserving psychic evaluator, gives you Assure, gives +8 to mental, 2 evasion, and 3 recycle. That's some nice bonuses. But I really like trash talk and draw fire. What does Assure even do? Plus 10% damage, 5% crit chance, and 6 initiative for 3 turns for the entire party. It's a pretty strong buff. But... and the passives on this are really good. But the thing is... I really like Trash Talk and Draw Fire, because it'll allow me to taunt enemies too. Because then what you can do is I can have the technician can really boost up the shields on one character, and then we can force the enemies to attack that character instead of attacking the characters that have low shields. And it's really good. There are dice rolls. No. There's no dice rolls. Initiative is just a set number. Her initiative is 6. That's just, it's always 6. Her initiative is 7. And hers is 9. So she always goes before her. And she always goes before her. Now, there are abilities that change your initiative, which will move you in the turn order, or that will change the enemies and move them in the turn order, but there's no randomness to it. There's no randomness to anything in this. Well, it's randomly generated maps and random generated loot, but there's no randomness in combat, other than the fact that you don't know what cards you're going to draw. I really like this mod, but there's a mod for her energy blade. Gives her 3 evasion, stun resistance, and some puncture. Yeah. And like during character creation, one of the things you could take... See, she took charismatic personality, which gave her 106, which it gave her plus a bonus to her mental stat. She took crafty, which gave her some recycle chance, which is a chance to get your card back. But Shatter took neurotic, which actually gave her plus 2 to initiative. That's why her initiative is so much better than everyone else's. So when you create your characters in the beginning, you know, if you want certain ones to be able to act first or whatever, you can modify it that way. Plus gear, of course, will give you... Like, she's got, I think, an item. One of her items gives her plus 2 initiative. Or somebody's got an item that gives them a bonus to initiative. Maybe it's her. Yeah, her. She gets plus 1 more initiative from this power glove. So, how do I feel about this energy blade mod? That one gives piercing strike and 2% damage. That one gets deflective stance and 3 evasion. Parry is pretty nice. I'm tempted to make her more of a tank and less offensive. And by giving her this instead of this, I would do so. She'd not only move her evasion from 3% to 6%, she'd also get parry instead of piercing strike. Yeah, I'm gonna make her a little tankier, especially since she's the one that has the taunt card. She's also got the highest shields and the highest health out of everybody in the party. She's not a bruiser. Bruiser is the actual tank class in this. She's not the actual tank class, but she can still be the de facto tank for our party. Fury Slash and Piercing Strike. No. Alright. Uh-oh. Wormlings! Good, because I have a quest to get some stuff from wormlings. You see wormlings munching on the stripped remains of a dead looter. One notices you and starts emanating a low-pitch hostile sound. Hope they don't kick my ass. Well, they don't have shields, and their health isn't that high. They do a lot of damage base. They have a lot of crit chance, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to come right out and do a craft supply, and I'm going to grab a stunning blow. Then I think I'm going to pop off maintain, first things first. It's a nice buff for the whole team. Those wormlings do look really dour. Look at their faces. They do not like us being on their lawn, so to speak. She could turn invisible. Razornet is the worst fucking card I have. Unfortunately. Okay, I could choose to boost somebody's shield. I mean, I don't know who they're going to attack, but I'm going to boost her shield because she's got the least shields. That'll bring her up to a 38 shield. The only thing this is missing to make it as cool as Darkest Dungeon to me is voice acting. If this had a cool narrator like in Darkest Dungeon, it would be awesome. But there's no voice acting whatsoever in this, unfortunately. Deflective stance, compliment, parry. Oh, I got mad defensive cards. I wonder if I feel like these things are gonna spit something at me, not necessarily attack in melee. I think for now, I'll just throw a grenade at the weaker ones. Ooh, cool. I killed 2 and reduced 2 of them to almost dead. Okay, so they are meleeing. Puncture 9. Oh, and that one died from... I don't know how it died from the grenade. Did I put some sort of bleed on it? Do I have a thing? See, I think we lost some actual health here. Because of the puncture that they had. Which isn't good. Losing health is awful. Losing health is just literally losing money. She's got maintain again, huh? She can stun somebody. Well, she can obviously just kill that guy off. She can almost kill off this other guy with a big dirty punch. Alright, I'm going to stun the big guy. The one with the healthy guy. And then we can finish the other guy off pretty easily. Unfortunately, she doesn't have any damaging cards. Although, Razornet might actually kill it on its turn. So let's just use Razornet. And then I can finish off this other one. And the Razornet killed it. Yay! Unfortunately, I do think we took a little health damage there, which is not what you want to happen. Wormling intestines. I need these for my contract. I need like 5 of them, though. The poisonous acidic remains of a wormling. 42. Yeah, dude, she took 5 points of damage. Oh, she's the only one that took damage, though. So I guess that's not too bad. No way to heal that except going back to town and spending lots of money. I can save after that. Wait, what? I can also search. Burnt superconductor array. Victim of a nearby firefight. Some sort of system malfunction or overheating. A heavy rod. I don't think anybody in my party can use a heavy melee. In fact, I know that nobody... This is for the bruiser class. Nobody in my party can use heavy melee. But weapons usually sell for a pretty good amount of money, so... I'm not going to complain about that. I'm going to use another power generator here. Look how many possible fights there are. The good news is I won't have to pay any energy for any of these fights. Because normally when you're in combat, you lose energy every single turn. So doing all these fights would drain a lot of energy, but because this was a good place to put a power generator. Let's see what we've got here. More gutsers.
It is useless to resist.
Of course, these look like they're a little higher level gutsers than the last ones we fought, maybe. Let's come right out with craft supply. Let's get maintain. Let's maintain right out the gate. Saint could fortify everybody's shields. Siren can throw a concussive grenade. One stunned, one not. Chokehold. Okay. Kill that tougher guy first, I think. And now here she can do an overcharge shot that does a shitload of damage, but it actually takes 20 of our energy. This has a 15% chance of instantly killing the target. Come on, 15% chance. Close enough. I'm just gonna finish him off. Oh yeah, missed. Chokehold, rooted. And then we can... Oh, we can't finish him off yet, but we can... She can put down some cover. She can draw some extra weaponry cards. See, she can't use these cards because she's in a chokehold, which disables her melee attacks. She can still shoot. Does it still take 20 energy even if you're in that energy boosted zone? That's a great question, Nox. I should try it right now and find out. So I'm at 706. Man, that did a lot of damage. Oh, it doesn't! Oh, Nox, good call! That's so cool. Energy boosted zone, yay! What do we get? A new shield core with 30 shields, a recharge, and a recharge you can use on someone else. Oh, now that's nice. That is definitely going right here. Well, yeah, that's gonna go on Saint. So, by equipping that, she gained some shields. She technically lost one recharge shield card that she can use on someone else. She traded it for a self-recharge, but I think that's fine. I think that's fine. A heavy rod, nobody's gonna use that. Tech tool mod with +4 tech. Oh, cool. She literally has no mods on her tech tool. That's just 4 more tech stat, which means a tiny bit more shield restoration. You know, I could... actually give Saint's old shield core to Shatter, and then Shatter would have the ability to also restore other people's shields. She doesn't have much tech, so she wouldn't be great at it, but I think we're gonna do that. We're gonna give her this support barrier. And then we found a new gun. Well, I like her having the assault weapon. I like her having the sniper rifle, but I use a light... Oh, but the one I've got I think is quite a bit better. Yeah, the one I've got is better than this, so we're not going to use that. You can switch gear anytime you want in the Derelicts, but you can't switch gear in combat. OPAF, new meta. Here we go.
Extraneous. Mother sight. Please hit with laser pyre.
It's a helmetless janitor. And a couple of these little obnoxious iBots. So they're mechanical. The different creature types are affected by different kinds of cards, too. Or not affected, as the case may be. Alright. Oh, I have 2 craft supplies sitting here. Let's use one. I'm gonna take a concussive grenade. I'm gonna take another concussive grenade. And I'm gonna take a stunning blow. All the stuns. We're gonna start. See if we can stun some people here. Oh, we stunned 2 of them. See the little icon next to their... Alright, 8 points of shield damage. I laugh at that. Ooh, she could cryo-amp lethal shot and do a bunch of damage. Who do I want to take out first? Probably this janitor guy. He's probably more dangerous than them. So I'm going to cryo-amp, which will make my next shot, my lethal shot, do more damage. Did 22 there. Pretty good. I could also concussive grenade. I mean, when in doubt, don't let them act. Alright, I'm just gonna stunning blow this guy. Now that headbutt locks out melee cards, I think. I'll recharge shield up here. I must be putting bleeds on people passively. I think one of my items gives me a passive bleed that I'm putting on with all my attacks, which is amazing, because that's twice now that I've killed something after the fact by an attack that doesn't normally cause a dot. It does a lot of shield damage. What's this guy got going on? Burning. Oh, now I'm putting burning on fools. That's great. Stunning blow this guy. Okay, these things aren't that dangerous. Well, this won't do much damage, but it'll overload, which I don't remember. Oh, that prevents them from drawing cards. So sometimes they don't get to take an action if you overload them like that. Alright, let's start just murdering things. Can we just murder things? Let's just murder things. She doesn't have anything offensive she can do. She'll recharge her own shield. I don't have anything offensive to do, so I'll put on deflective stance. That'll give me counter in case it attacks me. I got something offensive though. Kaboom! Well, I don't know what all that stuff we just got is. A medical tool. Now, nobody in my party has a medical tool, but anybody could hypothetically use one in a tool slot. So Siren could give up her mental tool, or Saint could give up one of her 2 tools, or she could give up her scavenger's tool, and we could put a medical tool on. Gives 2 things that purge effects on target. But see, we're not going to, because that's not very good. Ooh, a scavenging tool mod. 7% chance to draw an extra card at the beginning of your turn, an extra craft supply, and a repeat. I don't really like that cover. I never really use it. So I'm going to replace that with this. So now she has even more craft supply. Craft supply is an amazing card, so that's 4 craft supplies in her deck now. She also now has a 19% chance to draw an extra card at the beginning of a turn. And now she has this card called Repeat, which is here. Self or ally 100% recycle for next played card. And she draws a card. Yeah, Repeat's pretty good. That way, if you have a really good card that you want to play, and then you basically get to use it twice. And then we've got a shield core mod, which is nice because we've got some open slots on our shield cores. Adds damage, loses max shields, gives a weapon enhancer, and gives shockwave. Well, I don't really want her to go from 31 to 28 shields. Pretty happy with what she's got. She could go from 23 down to 21 shields, though. 8% more damage. A weapon enhancer. And a shockwave. What does shockwave do? Does 3 base damage and applies one of the following to all enemies. Stagger 2 or -3 initiative. That's not bad. She's got the lowest shields. But I mean, I can always boost her shields with Saint, so she's kind of my most offensive character. She's also got a ridiculously fat deck. But like everything in her deck is useful, so it's like basically no matter what comes up here, she's going to be able to do something cool. So I'm happy with that. Is anybody still here that wasn't here in the beginning, didn't see the character creation bit? Because I could show that real fast if anybody wants to see it. She's your DPS. Yeah, basically, at this point, the way the party is played out is she's the tank, she's the healer, and she's the DPS, essentially. Although, they're all a little more complicated than that, since I didn't take the actual healing class, the actual tank class. Although the actual healing class isn't much of a healer. Hey, Splode, good to see you. Hey, Photon Joker. And she's not the actual DPS class either. They're all utility classes. All 3 of these are utility classes. But they're really working out well, I think. You own the game and know how characters are made? Okay. So, when you start from the beginning, this is how it works. You can name your... You can also roll randomly. Give you random names, random classes, random name for your group. But then, anyway, so you name your group. You name each of your characters. You choose a class. These are the classes. Tracker, basically a rogue. Bruiser, basically a fighter or tank. Technician, I've got one in my group. Medic. See, the medic doesn't seem... The medic seems to be more of a booster. And, like, condition remover. They don't actually heal health. Oh, they can give temporary health, though. That's right. But I don't think the medic seems that good. Leader, which is what I've got in my group. And Scrapper, which is what I've got in my group. So, like, Tracker, Bruiser, Medic are, like, the sort of classic DPS tank healer classes. And these other three are all utility classes. And that's what I've got my whole group made of, and they seem to be working out really well, actually. I would recommend that everybody have a technician. You build anything else you want for your other two people, but everybody should have a technician, because regenerating shields is just too fucking good. And then, you know, your class that you choose gives you your base stats. It also determines what things you can equip. You know, if you're a bruiser, you can equip a heavy melee, a tool, and a shield core, and nothing else. If you're a tracker, you get a ranged weapon and an energy blade and a tool and a shield core. You know, ranged weapon, 2 tools, and a shield core. Just so that makes a big difference on what kind of cards you're going to be able to get based on what kind of gear you're going to be able to equip. These stats make a big difference in what kind of cards you're going to want to use. You know, having a high tech stat means when you use tech cards, they're going to be a lot better. Or having a high scavenging stat means, you know, and then they also have passive things like scavenging gives more loot, and mental gives more bonus from contracts and tasks, and weaponry just straight up makes you do more damage with weaponry, obviously, and crit chance and everything else. Tech helps you restore shields, etc. And then you can go through, and there's lots of different portraits to choose for each character. Lots of different portraits. Male and female. And each class has 3 little, you know, character models to choose from. You know, so if you change your class, you get a different 3 to choose from. And then you pick a personality trait for each character, and that gives you a passive bonus. Neurotic gives you 2 initiatives, Skittish gives you 5 evasion, Aggressive gives you 5 melee damage, Charismatic gives you 15 mental, Crafty gives you 5 recycle. So, by choosing a class and a personality trait, you essentially build your starting character. And then you know, create your appearance, you put your name in, and then your team's done. But it's pretty cool. The classes seem very different from each other. And it would be definitely fun to replay this with different class, you know, team class compositions. Let me reload my save. I've heard Scrapper is pretty broken, OP broken. I don't know about that. It does seem pretty good. It does seem pretty good. Saito, are you still here? I just loaded a save and then immediately saved. Ancient Eye.
Monitoring. Beep boop. Filthy scavengers detected.
Do you want me to play some Fallout New Vegas? Because I'm at about the game switching point here. Recycled that. Nice. Down to 7 shields. We'll boost that. Back up to 31 shields. She's so fucking good at boosting shields. Thought you said you'd never play Fallout New Vegas? Not that you wouldn't mind. You love that game. I'm literally playing it for Saito. So if I play Fallout New Vegas, you can thank him. You're gonna have to head off soon, probably best. Okay, I understand. Oh, see, now I can taunt. And enemies have a 20% critical failure chance for 2 turns. And then what I can do is just keep pumping shields into him. That way I don't have to worry about them hitting the... I'm gonna use Trash Talk. There came my Charge Strike. Can't quite... Hypothetically, this could kill. Let's try it. Nope, I didn't kill it. Oh, but she was energized, I guess. Because she gets another move. Oh, great. Finish him off. He doesn't need a shield boost at this point. Let's just lay down some pain. Dirty Punch for the win! Scrap component, an assault ranged weapon mod, and a petrified alien head. Assault ranged weapon mod. She uses an assault weapon. This would give her another burst fire and another reload. And 7% recycle. Ooh. I'm tempted to get rid of her concussive grenades. Because she's already got concussive grenades. 7% more recycle would be pretty glorious. More burst file, more reload. I think I will. But I'm going to hold on to this. Alright. Destroyed mod. Whatever it was for, it won't serve that purpose anymore. That was bad loot. Defiler.
Chaos, anarchy, rah!
Okay, now these guys are going to be pretty tough. Ish. I mean, I am one level higher than the derelict I'm on, so it won't be, like, horrifying, but we're going to start right out with maintain. Ooh, getting stunned. Inspiring shot is nice. He just hit his own guy. We're getting stunned. Oh, and it's my shield regenerator that's getting stunned. That's not great. Oh, now Shatter's got a recharged shield card up, though. Saint was stunned. Well, you guys like stunning, huh? How do you like this stun? Got them both with the stun. I think we're standing on an energy-free zone, so I can use the overcharged shot. Overcharged shot freely and kill this guy. Ooh, she did 36. Their favorite car part must be a piston. Their favorite car part. Their favorite car part. You know what I love? I just love me some pistons. Aren't pistons great? That missed chance from Dirty Punch made him miss. Let's finish him off with one more Dirty Punch. Kabow! Successful encounter. No health damage taken. Ooh, it's his new sniper rifle. And a mod for a scavenging tool. What does it give you? 4 scavenging, temporary cover, and a magnetic throw? Does 8 damage and apply a stagger to a single target. Nah, I'm not going to give up what she's got. But I might use this new sniper rifle. With Saint. 8 damage, 10% stagger, 9 damage plus 6% damage. Aimed shot. This has an aimed shot and a vulnerability shot. Okay, I'll take it. New gun for Saint. You don't get much XP. Well, I am fighting lower level enemies than me by 1. I feel like I gained my first 2 levels pretty fast. Now it's really slowing down. But dude, there's only 10 levels in the whole game, so the leveling has to be kind of slow. Oh, just a broken energy cell. I'd like to save scum that. Let's get into another fight. Oh, we've been looking for a scrap. We got another raider and a slaver. Okay. I'm gonna use Weapon Enhancer on myself. Overcharge shot for 23! I'm gonna start by fortifying shields, though. Concussive. Stuns being traded back and forth. She was stunned, sadly. They're overloaded. Cannot draw cards. Alright, now I have a 66% damage boost on me right now. So any of these attacks should do a fuckload of damage. Boom, get 22-pieced. Amp and overcharge shot would be glorious right now. Electric amp. Overcharge shot. We don't want to waste it on that guy that's almost dead. Oh, take a 30-piece. And it stuns him, because electric amp, if you get through their shields with electric amp, it also stuns them, which makes it so great. Now I can just finish one of these assholes off. Dirty punch. Boom. Oh, look how much stuff we got. Medical tool mod, perception enhancer. Interesting. A shield core mod. Shield restoring abilities 14% more effective. Woo! And more max shields and energy efficiency and an extra fortify shields card. Okay, well we're gonna replace the cloaking and reload card with this. Good night, boss. Have a good one. Thanks for coming by. Ooh, another shield core mod that gives damage resistance and evasion and reflections. Basically, it's like mirror image. We don't use a spread weapon. This could be good for my tanky tank. What does that card do? Creates 3 reflections that last for 5 turns. 50%. Oh, that's pretty nice. Yeah, so she's really starting to form into more of a tank now with some of this stuff. 8% evasion now too, plus 3% damage resistance. But somebody could use this. Not her, though. Her. Look how many cards she has. Okay, that's all good stuff. Oh, just sludge. A burnt superconductor array. I feel like I should play some Pathfinder. What do you guys think? Ye who are watching the stream. Do you want to see more of this game? Or do you want me to go back to Pathfinder? Ye. What do y'all think? Is the question. What's up, Fry Guy? How you doing? I don't know what this game is just yet. It's a pretty crazy game. You do some Pathfinder, but you're leaving soon. Mm-hmm. Well, I think I will end this episode here. The stream is not over, however. Thank you for watching, everybody. This has been Josiah Plays Deep Sky Derelicts.